Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're preparing for your ADI Part 3 test, one of the most important thing the examiner will look for is the lesson planning. The competency number 1. Identify the pupil learning goal and needs. This is a part of 17 competencies used by the Driver and Vehicle Standard Agency (DVSA) to assess the driving instructors. In this video, I will explain what goal and needs mean, how to create the SMART goals, how to help your client or pupil grow during the lesson. So let's get started. At the start of the lesson, instructor should always identify what the pupil already know. Knowledge check. What the pupil need to improve. Next step, what the pupil want to achieve today. What is the goal set today? This is called a client-centered learning approach. By asking some question at the start of the test to help to identify the client goal and needs. Instead of telling the client what to do, we involve them in the learning process. For example, you might ask the client or pupil, what do you feel about the roundabouts? If the client say, you tell me, then you can ask them, how do you feel about the roundabouts? What would you like to improve today in the roundabout? What did you find difficult in the last lesson in the roundabout? So that question at the start of the lesson known as identification questions, where you're trying to find out what exactly the goal and need of your client, what the client exactly want to do today, and what happened in the last lesson, which we call recap, and how you can use the last lesson into the today's lesson and help him. So must question them in the start of the lesson and in the middle of the lesson some places as well when you identify the new goals. So these questions called identifications of the goal and need with your client, but engage the client with you, with your questions. So it doesn't look like you telling the client what to do and the client is not engaged in the process, because this is a partnership and you must keep the lesson in a client-centered approach. So client come first in this approach. This discussion help understand the pupil learning goal and need. That is why it's important. Once you understand the pupil needs, the next step is to set a SMART goal. Now, what the SMART stand for? What is the SMART means? Let's do it one by one. S means specific. M, measurable. A, achievable. R, relevant. T, time bounding. So now let's talk these one by one. SMART goals. S, specific. Your goal should be clear, specific, clear. So for example, you want to improve the clutch today on the junction. Specific. You want to work on your clutch on the junction. Specific goal. Specific. One word means one specific goal. Then measurable. You should be able to measure the improvement, like scaling. For example, successfully move off at junction or successfully move off at 5 different junction without stalling. That means you can measure in 5 different junction the car did not stall. That means you are measuring it with the numbers, scaling points or with the levels, with the numbers. You're measuring it with the numbers. Then means out of 5 junction, the client practice, he never stall. That means specific goal, clutch control at the junction, sort it. A, achievable. The goal should match the pupil ability level. We structure the lesson according to the client ability. and experience, which is a past experience. So your goal should match his present ability, current ability, last past experience, or overall ability to do this. Then relevant. It should relate to their driving progress or the test preparation. Test preparation is next goal, lifetime. So for example, somebody partly trained, preparing for the test, trained guy preparing for the test. So for the test and for the lifetime learning. So progress should be relate to the topic. Then time bounding. For example, achieve this within today's 1 hour lesson. So you make the goal which you can achieve in that 45 minutes lesson in front of the examiner. So you are making a SMART goal which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bounding. So a full SMART goal could be, okay Kasim, by the end of today's lesson, the pupil will safely move off and control the clutch at 5 different junctions without stalling. Do you agree with me? Do you want to do this? Is that the plan? Is that is what you want to do at the end of the lesson? That is what we are making the goal. Now we have a SMART goal. We're going 5 different junction. The plan is we're going to sort out your clutch and you don't stall at every junction. So that means you made a SMART goal that is achieved, specific. To help the pupil to improve, instructors can use the GROW coaching method. What is the GROW? GROW. G, goal. R, reality. O, options. W, will, way forward, means growing up. So let's do this one by one. G, goal. What does the pupil want to achieve? What is the goal? So set the goal first, SMART goal. Then fix the goal. Reality. What is happening right now? Is this possible to achieve it or not? Your client are doing the mistake on the roundabout, clutch control, stalling, faster approaching, missing mirrors. Now the roundabout is not a reality to achieve. So think about the reality, real. Is this happening? What is happening right now? For example question, what usually happen when you move off? So you're asking this from the client. And then the client say, no, I'm missing my mirror, I'm missing my blind spot, I'm stalling, I'm jerking up. Okay, that means let's sort this out. Reality is this, that your clutch control is not good. You can't move off safely. So that is reality. So face the reality, adopt the lesson, and we make a specific goal again and do this. Then you keep the options. Ask the pupil what they could do differently. If you see some faults and you're doing the analyzation, then ask the client options, how you can do better. So last time you were struggling on this situation, how you can do better this time in this lesson. So then take the options. Example, what could help you to control the clutch better? Because this is not working. How about if you stay on the clutch for a bit longer? How about you count 1, 2, 3, then leave the clutch after that. So find the solutions. W in GROW, 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 will, way forward. Agree. What they will try in the next attempt. What is the difference they're going to try in next attempt? Way forward. How we can improve it in the next step. Way forward. So that means the client is achieving step by step, step by step, growing upward, but slowly in the chunks, step by step. This approach encourages independent thinking in the client, which is exactly what the examiner wants to see in the ADI Part 3 test. During the test, examiner wants to see the instructor ask questions to establish goal and need, identify. The pupil is involved in the planning process, in lesson planning, not you making the plans. You are making the plans together. Engagement of your client in making the goal set and needs to discuss. Field expressions. In this test, examiner want to see a clear learning goal is agreed between both of you. It's not like you saying the client to do something, the client is not agree, or you making the goals for the client in the start of the lesson, middle of the lesson, the client don't even know about it because you never agree on that goal or specific SMART goal. Examiner want to see that lesson is adopted to the pupil needs. When the new goals came in, new needs came in, new impressions by the client, expectations, body language, or his mistakes, discussion, bring the new goals, ready to adopt the lesson according to the need of the pupil of the plan. Remember, the lesson should be client-centered, not instructor-led, which means the instructor leading it. If you're preparing for your ADI Part 3 test, then understanding about goal and need, smart lesson planning, how the client can grow is extremely important. So that's the end. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel. If you're new, comment on the video. If you have new concerns and if you want to make the video on some new topic which you are confused about, comment me and I will make the new video. And I will see you next time with another tips. See you next time. Thank you for watching my video.